think we're good now. Yeah, sorry about that. My stream got cut off as soon as we got to the mega building. I just got into the elevator.
Violence continues to plague the Badlands.
We're gonna make our way up now.
Been reported along the run.
I accidentally whipped out my monowire and smacked the poles by the elevator. I tried to inspect my weapons, but you know, shit happens. Just kind of whipped out of nowhere. Haven't been here in a while. It's gonna be good to get this little break. Maybe even try to read some shards. Would you look at that? Such a fucking Peralez poster. And the egg has not hatched at all. Not fun. Damn. I think it's about time I'm gonna have a drink by the computer with my supper and my loungewear. Go drop off the weapons. Gotta get a burrito. Looks like our vending machine's full now. It's 7 in the morning. Okay. Let's have our whiskey. Let's have our burrito. Check our journal. Or shards. fucking knee, man. Of course, not everything's a bed of roses. Gravity below 1G isn't great for your bones or muscles. Synthesized food isn't to die for, and stuff from Earth is as rare as it is expensive. If you live in a private orbital station, congrats, you're richer than me. You always see the same faces. But if you live in a hybrid station like Crystal Palace, you'll have to live with corpo rat bachelor parties every weekend. But don't let that put you off. There are more upside than downsides to living in orbit. First of all, safety. To get into orbit, you need a lot of zeros in your bank account. Which means you won't see legions of homeless people, scazzed out gangsters, or aggressive joy toys. The exception to that being the lunar colonies, but no self-respecting orbital dweller would ever set foot there. In other words, you can walk outside at night unarmed, without security, and come back home in one piece, wallet undisturbed. Amazing, right? Secondly, quality of service. Anyone in the customer service sector had to rack up an enormous debt to come here. Their only hope to pay it off within their family times is to rack in a lot, and I mean a lot of tips, which means they'll bend over backwards to satisfy every whim. If you're an employer, you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about that an employee you just hired and trained at your expense will suddenly quit and go work for the competition for a few extra eddies a week. Many stations, especially the private ones, simply don't have competition, and if they do, it's basically negligible. Agreements can be made so situations like that don't occur. Thirdly, and most importantly, no government can tell you what to do, where and how. Orbital stations are autonomous and governed by their own laws, and there aren't that many of them. If you can afford your own station, you're the undisputed lord and master of your own little corner of space. You want to tie the help up to the whipping post. You want to tie the help up to a whipping post when they make a mistake? Go right ahead. Want 5 wives or 4 husbands? I'm sure you'll have a line of willing volunteers. In the orbitals, damn, the Crystal Palace, or just living in. I wonder if it's true. Probably not. Chemicals, the invisible killer. We've long known that the AVs crisscrossing our skies are busy dumping harmful substances in the air such as aluminum carbon dioxide, sulfur trioxide, and sulfuric acid. Studies have also revealed the presence of dead red blood, enhanced memory capacity, and pain modulators. By linking our neural systems with computer chips, we are capable of learning complex skill sets in seconds. Then subsequently, forgetting them again in an instant, they are removed. Today, after nearly 80 years of increasingly incorporating these technologies into our daily lives, we must now ask ourselves, what comes next? In recent years, the academic community has reignited discussions of possible new methods of influence brain plasticity. It is possible to create permanent neural pathways using coprocessors. Can we expect a breakthrough regarding dopamine, dopamine, dopam, dopamine, dopaminergic data manipulation in our lifetimes. So, if so, what will be the consequences? The probable emergence of commercially viable artificial neurotransmitters would undoubtedly reshape the health science field, yet would simultaneously introduce a potential destructive tool to most governments and corporations. The field of plasticity, the field of plasticity manipulation remains in its infancy, but most experts agree we should prepare for a future in which such neurologically rewiring will become as a commonplace as the cybernetic implants used to pervasively today. Studies should begin exploring now how science can adapt to our bodies to optimize these effects of the... Oh my god, wait. Is this talking about taking control of people? Yep. This is the fucking controlling... Oh my god. Pain editors and mortality rates. The implant known widely as the pain editor is cyberware that reduces or even entirely eliminates pain. It has enjoyed unwavering popularity for years among certain circles in Night City, the most devoted and arguably most valuable of which is mercenaries. It is using the test group that Zetatech conducted the following research. The pain editor is a neural coprocessor that inhibits a signal sent from nociceptors to the parietal lobe of the brain, thus preventing feelings of pain in the user. Some models also reduce symptoms of fatigue. The beneficial effects caused by the pain editor are in some ways similar to the symptoms of hypothesia, including greater resistance to physical forms of torture and the ability to ignore pain from severe wounds, which can allow the user to continue to perform beyond normal human limitations for a brief period. However, some studies have reported that the pain editor can yield a range of undesirable side effects. For example, in the heat of battle, some users are unaware of the severity of their wounds, which causes them to continue fighting without realizing they are dying and require immediate medical attention. The statistics support the theory that the lack of negative reinforcement may cause users to continue fighting when the rational strategy would be to retreat and escape death. Since 2020, the mortality rate of pain editor owners is above 60%. In this report, I addressed the question of how to better protect Zetatech clients from avoidable death while using our pain editors. Very addictive cyberware it must be. NCPD, Anatomy of a Disaster. This won't be the kind of book that's full of eloquent phrases or elaborate metaphors. I'm not a writer, I'm a cop. Or rather, for the mass redundancies. I'm not writing this for money or fame, I'm writing it because I'm pissed we lack the money, people, and equipment we so desperately needed. The mayor couldn't have cared less. He wanted to cut costs. Apparently, the NCPD wasn't profitable. He said at a press conference, a day after 7 of us were killed by a cyberpsycho in Vista Del Rey. Then why not privatize it? That very same day, the NCPD was transferred into private ownership, all according to plan. Our new chief of police, previously the head of the data term sales department, cared only about one thing, money. He fired half of the force, cut down the numbers of patrols, and ordered those working the street to drop everything and start writing tickets. It didn't take long to see the effects. The city's crime rate went through the roof, bodies clogged the alleyways, and the sidewalks were painted red with blood. Meanwhile, the suits at Corporal Plaza were popping champagne and celebrating. Why? Because the demand for private security services had increased by 1,000%. Damn. Okay. Understanding your teen. The teenage years are truly the most difficult period in a person's life. Not only is it a time of enormous hormonal changes to the brain, but also a time of searching for one's own identity. A teen starts to seek authority figures outside of the family, most often among their peers, but also among celebrities, rocker boys, and even fixers or mercenaries. To become an authority figure to teens, all you really need to do is have a unique style, maybe throw in a few nice phrases criticizing the system, and most importantly, convince the teenager that you and only you understand. The joy of influence, 5 simple rules. 1. Exude authority, speak with conviction and absolutes, and never ever lose confidence in yourself. 2. Practice the rule of reciprocity. Most people always feel like they owe you something. 3. Be unavailable. Make yourself seem like a very busy person whose time is more valuable than theirs. Even a meeting is a sacrifice. 4. Demand engagement. Remember, if a client is forced to give you enough attention, backing out will be even harder. 5. Make them like you. People like people who are similar to them. Never forget that. Nomads for the thick-skinned. Okay, the matter's simple. Whatever you read or hear about the nomads in the city media doesn't hold an ounce of water. The biggest lie bandied around is that being a nomad is a job. It's not. Nomadism is a lifestyle. See, if you want to know something about nomads, all you have to do is ask one yourself. Luckily, I already know the questions because I've been asked them 1,000 times. So let's get started, shall we? 1. Why did the nomads organize themselves? Well, why not unite millions of people roaming around the country? Besides, if you know what you're looking for, you'll instantly know which clan a nomad belongs to. Which brings us to our next point. Nomads are divided into nations. Nations are divided into clans. Clans are broken into families. You'll recognize them from their colors, their jackets and decals on their cars and bikes. By the way, nomads take their affiliation seriously, so unless you want a broken jaw, I advise you to do the same. 2. You'll be eating dirt or worse if you get nomads and Raffins mixed up. Remember, Raff and Shiv are not nomads. They're pariahs. Outcasts, criminals who were either exiled from their clan for doing something truly effed up, or just ordinary friends, and everyone goes their separate ways. The consciousness curse. Man dies the way he was born, soft, weak, and helpless. Death, the one certainty in this universe of chaos, can be both a tragic end and a release from suffering. It can come as an unexpected twist or as a beautiful crowning counterpart to a life well lived. The curse we face as humanity, the only living beings in constant awareness of death, is our inordinate focus on the fact. How much happier is the life of the gazelle that escapes the cheetah's clutches, thinking it evaded death once and for all, than the poor soul living out his days knowing each step inches him closer to the void. Wow, that sounds real as fuck. Impearl poisoning. Impearl, which attracts danger, is the poison resulting from your ability. The poison, a quite substantial one, is deposited against the walls of the nerve channels and spreads through the entire organism. I feel so chill right now, man. A lot of work.